All right, guys, let's see. Pum, 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 pum. Yeah, everything seems to be working very well. Good. I hope you had a very beautiful day, and today it's another session where we become mindful about what is happening in the world and what is happening more precisely in our lives. Mm-mm. Yeah, I. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, I actually came to speak about something that I have been contemplating about for quite some time. Do you know why um, some people will die poor? Why you are entangled in poverty? And sometimes not because you have been witched by your village people or whatever. I mean, there is a group of people that do believe in witches, and there are those that don't believe in these kind of things. But within you, you have the power to change so many things around you in your life. So today, I want to actually talk to you first of all, some few basic steps that you can do to elevate your financial situation. I don't care actually in which part of the world you currently live, but this is something contagious wherever you are. You can apply it because it's about fulfilling a need. There's a demand and supply. Okay, if you understand the mechanism of demand supply, you are one way ahead to your good life. Okay. So how can I break it down? Please, I really want you guys to follow carefully, and I hope you can check because this is cheap advice that I'm giving to you guys. Um, it's a cheap. You can literally invest so much time into studying these things or learning this thing, but I'm gonna break it down to you straightforward. One thing that really causes people to die in poverty or to die poor is laziness. Number one, laziness. Number two, distraction. Okay. Why do I single out these two aspects? You may be asking yourself right now, why laziness and why distraction? Because I can basically give you a very simple example. Let's say you start a YouTube channel. Just a very basic example. You start a YouTube channel and you are looking for a niche. Okay. For those of you that don't know what a niche is or are not so familiar with this platform, a niche is actually a specialty, something that you'll be specializing at on the YouTube platform. Okay. Among all other niches, one of the few or one of the many niches that really help people to be, let's say, okay, have a great audience in a short time frame is doing what? Pranks, right? Doing pranks, doing these entertainment stuffs, whatever. And you see people hooking up. Why do they get so many followers, so many subscribers, so many views through pranks? Because human beings are wired into accommodating distraction. Yeah, I mean, in the time of let's say of in Germany we call it Ablenkung, of relaxation. They want to entertain their eyes with what they see, any visual, anything funny, anything amusing, so that they can they can feed their inner child. Okay, yeah, that is why many people, many creators actually go into this section of creating uh, pranks or funny videos, comedies, whatever, to generate more people. So how do you, let me just break it down, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to run away from the main topic. I just want to give you some few techniques. How do you bring money to these guys' pocket? How do you bring money to these content creators, this kind of content creators? You bring money in their pocket. Why? Simply by sitting down and watching those videos, be it 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes long. You are watching that video, you are feeding your inner child, you are feeding your amusement, and the time that you're investing into watching that video, that funny stuff, you are actually generating money for the content creator. But then if you compare the two people, who has benefited from who? The content creator, right? Because he brought to you a certain kind of distraction that you got hooked into, and therefore you've wasted 20 minutes of your time, 30 minutes of your time just giggling, laughing the whole time. Meanwhile, the guy is busy cashing out money. Do you understand? But now, why do we call it distraction? Why do I call it distraction? It's distraction because you've just lost 20 minutes of your time. Time is valuable. Time is the most valuable asset that nobody has. All right? I mean, you can ask multi-billionaire right now, trillionaire, if there's one thing that they ever wish they had, it's time. Now you are in your, let's say, your mid-20s, your late 30s or mid-30s, I don't know what age range, and you just sit down there and you want to watch these things to amuse your eyes, to amuse yourself. The content creator doesn't care. Yeah? He doesn't care. He's making money. He knows what the audience wants. He knows what people want. He knows what the community wants. This distraction, this kind of distraction. Yeah. So this one thing that is gonna really keep you in poverty and make you die poor. You know, distraction and laziness. Okay. So I can actually cover a whole video just to talk about distraction, because distraction is not just into watching these pranks, whatever, but also, internet is very saturated. It's overly saturated. You will find good from bad, you'll find bad from good. To a certain degree, you wouldn't know how to distinguish good from evil. You wouldn't know how to distinguish evil from good. Yeah. Literally, nowadays, you can literally see everything that you want to see on internet. Be careful. Internet can be a dangerous place. Okay? All right. So the distraction, as I said, it increases. Yeah, it increases over time. You started by watching pranks or watching whatever sport, or listen up, I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch these pranks, or you shouldn't watch these pranks or sports, whatever, but we're talking here about time management and the investment that you can do with that kind of time you have. Okay, cool. So one part of this distraction we already spoke about, pranks on social media like YouTube's, whatever. Secondly is adult content. What I mean by adult content, I don't want to go into details because I believe you're adult enough to know what I mean in this case. That thing actually distracts you and derails you from progressing in life. Okay? You are literally feeding those content creators. You're feeding those people just by simply watching. First of all, that videos or those contents are not just stealing your time, but they're also stealing your energy, your potential as a man, as a woman. Yeah, you'll be having these practices. Your mind is just blocked into thinking something that is not there. Do you understand? It renders you powerless in everything you do. Okay, cool. All right, so going forward, just to expose more signs of poverty, signs of things that can really limit you from growing financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Yeah. Once again, this kind of distraction and laziness. All right, cool. But then when you choose or decide to feed your mind, when you decide to invest in your inner self, yeah, with knowledge, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is great. People buy knowledge, okay? People search for knowledge and they are willing to invest anything just to get a certain kind of knowledge. Through knowledge, you get a new understanding or a better understanding of time management. You better understanding of yeah, what you can do, you know, for your life. So I'm actually here telling you guys the importance of cutting all this distraction if you want to progress in life. Yeah. Using this time for something valuable. Learn a new skill. Instead of you sitting down watching those craps and paying money to some people's pocket indirectly simply by watching those videos, whatever, why don't you use that energy? Why don't you use that time to invest in your intellectual ability? Learn a certain skill. Okay. So one thing that is going to keep people poor and to some degrees also make you die poor, because you're not the first person or it's not going to be, if you're not affected, or if you're affected, you aren't going to be the first person to die poor. But there have been people already who have lost their lives, God forbid, with this kind of practices. That is why I came actually here to wake your mind up, like to wake you up from this deep slumber. Okay, use your time, use your energy, use the time that you have now. You are in your 20s, you are in your mid-20s, your 30s. Use your time wisely and work on your investment. Okay, do not envy about any of these things that you see on social media. Come on, bring a value in the market and invest in yourself. Learn a certain skill and apply that skill to a community and let that skill leverage money for you. Okay. All right. So in my previous video, I spoke a lot about investment and how you can invest through GFU and many other aspects and all the benefit that GFU brings. Of course, GFU is a great place. It's a great game changer that is happening in our society, especially in Europe. But I believe that in Africa, there are also many people that are tapping into it. But apart from GFU, there are also many other ways that you can do, that you can follow to make a living, becoming a millionaire in this modern era that we live is no longer complicated. It's no longer tough. Yeah. Just the number itself looks very unrealistic, right? When you said, okay, I wanna make 1 million euros or $1 million or whatever currency you use in your country. It sounds too much. It sounds unrealistic. But if you have a plan, if you have a roadmap, if you have a strategy, if you understand the concept of supply and demand, you're gonna make not only a million, but millions, if not billions, because there are so many people doing that. So many people tapping into that. So the first thing is, first of all, activating your mindset, changing your mindset, shifting the paradigms of your thinking, okay? Getting out of distraction, right? Getting out of distraction is very important, yeah? I'm in a time right now where I wish that a day had more than 24 hours. I always say, I always say that to my friends, that I wish that a day had more than 24 hours. And imagine how much I could have accomplished, how much you could accomplish. All right. So for our fellas that are in Africa or anywhere else, sitting in that blessed assurance of not knowing what to do, how to invest, how to progress in life, one thing that I'm gonna advise you is to cut off all distraction that you have. Yeah, I mentioned only 2 distractions here: laziness and watching craps on social media. But there are so many other distractions. Can be, I don't know, toxic relationships, can be bad environment, can be bad friendship, bad surrounding. Can be, because the thing is, You are the reflection of the people that you hang out with. Okay, if you hang out with good people, you become good. If you hang out with bad people, you become bad. So you're the reflection of who you hang out with. Okay, so decide in your mind, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? What do you want to achieve in the next 3 years? Okay, maybe I'm too far. Okay, what do you want to achieve in the next 1 year? Okay, 2024 is about to close now. Only few days from now. Today is the 3rd of December 2024. In 3 weeks' time, 3 weeks and a half, is the week over, is the year over. So what is the new goal that you're starting with in 2025? Come on, guys, listen up. It all depends to you. Okay, nobody's gonna come to you and force you what to do, what not to do. Yeah, it's your mindset, because you're no longer a child. Yeah, I'm not talking, I hope I'm not speaking to children right now. I'm speaking to people with brains, to think that, okay, if you just enter 2025 as you did enter 2024, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. Okay, you're not gonna make it. Forget about it. You're not gonna make it. You're gonna go to your 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 job, go home, get lazy, sleep, eat, go on vacation, 2 weeks vacation, 3 weeks vacation, come back, go to your boss. Your boss will be yelling at you, shouting at you. You get your payment, you pay your mortgages, you pay A, B, C, D. You come back home, you have your savings. Your savings maybe might not be that enough. And the same routine over and over and over and over and over again. And that is what we call the matrix. You are bound. You are bound into that servanthood. All right. Do you know why schools don't differ from prisons? Especially in America. If you look at school system, you look in American prison system, and you look at work system, everywhere, not just in America or Europe, everywhere is the same structure. You go to school from morning to afternoon, you learn, you learn somebody else's history. Okay, you get that paper called a degree, whatever. You start struggling to get a job, you get a job, you'll be working from morning to night or to noon. All right, based on your conduct here on earth, you get imprisoned for some practice, whatever, and then what you do. There are also some skill works there in prison. So everything that surrounds us, it's an imprisonment, but we don't realize that because we are too lazy to understand. You'll rather switch on your computer or whatever, your cell phone, and watch adult content to please yourself. You'll rather go on Instagram to watch craps and close off a day, or rather go on TikTok, whatever, YouTube, and watch stupid things, and it's something that won't add any value into your life. But high value content, you are despising. You call it boring. Yeah. You call it, okay, the guy's just talking some blasphemy, whatever. How would you grow? Tell me. How would you grow? How would you grow? So do you think that I'm just here? I left everything that I needed to do, important, just sit down, maybe 30 minutes time, and just talk to you. I mean, you don't know me personally. I don't know you personally, but I'm here just to impart value. Yeah. So do you think I'm just wasting my time? Or am I doing this because I need more subscription, or I need more watch time, whatever, for this YouTube platform? No. No. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. And YouTube, by the way, YouTube is not the only platform that I have where I interact with people, okay? I have other businesses going on. And apart from my business, I already said in my previous video, if you didn't watch it, I suggest you watch it. I spoke a lot about Jifu and also a little bit about myself. I'm a master's student of political science. I'm currently based in Germany, and shortly after my bachelor studies, I worked in the German government. I'm a 4 times scholarship holder. Okay, so I'm not just here to talk blasphemy, but I'm talking something that is realistic. I'm here to help you as a brother. Okay, somebody out there, I believe, if you don't need this advice, if you don't need this tip because you're already well off, but maybe someone else, maybe your friend, maybe your cousin, maybe somebody out there struggling to hear this word. Yeah. But the reason why we don't grow in life because we choose distraction over education. The reason why we don't grow in life because we choose some sort of education instead of a real education. Okay, and the real education is what I'm actually telling you right now. Like understanding how life works, understanding how the principle of this world. Because in this life, if you don't hold a ticket to the first class, you'll be second class. You are either a leader or a servant in this world. That's how the world works. Yeah, it's a whole about the game. So what you bring on the table is what counts the most at the end of the day. Okay, all right. So keep that in mind. The world's not easy. The world is tough. The world is tough. The same way you have to wake up every morning, go to work, and provide for your family, provide for your children, provide for your parents, whatever. The same way everybody's struggling to make a living, but only the upright, only the bright will understand how this world functions and make use of this functionality for their benefit. You know, do you think you're gonna make a lot of money through education? Yes, of course. Maybe yes, maybe not. Okay, depending on what field you're studying and depending on what opportunity you're gonna get after you study. But then the next question is gonna be, would you be free while doing that job? And of course not. I don't care how much money they'll be paying you per month, but would you be free? I mean, you are literally bound. Before you get that money, you have to show some kind of servanthood. You have to show some kind of service. You have to provide a service. And then based on that, you'll be rewarded with your salary. And based on that job, maybe you get a 2 weeks vacation, 3 weeks vacation, 4 weeks vacation. You relax for a bit with your family in some Maldives or I don't know, in the Bahamas, and then come back to your usual 9 to 5 job. Understand? So where is freedom there? Tell me, where is freedom? There's no freedom. Of course, you're making money, but do you have enough time to spend with your family? Do you have enough time to spend with your wife? Do you have enough time to spend with your children? Of course not. Of course you don't. I know that you want to have that time, but you can't. You can't because your boss is expecting you to be at work. Real talk, guys. You need that thing. You need that privacy with your family. But you can't achieve it because somebody out there is waiting for you to be there in the office at 8 a.m. and start with your daily chores. But financial freedom comes through implementation of some business ideas. In other words, use your money wisely. Use your money wisely and create investment. Cut off all distraction. One way to be a millionaire is simply, first of all, by number one, by cutting all distraction. Why do millionaires say that? Okay, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to read a lot. And do you think that you have to read just any book? No, you don't have to read just any book. There's some certain books that you have to read that will expand your mindset, that will open your mindset. I'm not talking about some magic books, whatever. No. I understand how finances work. I understand how currencies work. And build yourself so many financial sources. And build for yourself many income sources. All right. Last time I spoke about land investment. Why do you have to invest in the land? All right. Because it's buying a land is a short as well as a long time financial project. Okay. It's a real talk now, guys. Of course, you might be wondering right now, okay, this guy is talking about buying a land. I mean, I don't even have a single penny to buy land. Where do I start? How do I start? Listen, there's a degrees of class, there's a degrees of responsibility, there's a degrees of risk that one can take depending on your current financial situation. If you're working or you're not working. I mean, if you're not working, it's going to be tough for you to go to the bank and then get a credit. Okay, that's like it's a no gain for you. Forget about that topic. But for those of you that work, that you have a secure job, you know that okay, getting a credit from the bank won't cost you that much because you have a reputable job that you do and you can pay that debt in a certain amount of time. Let me tell you something. Buying a land will help you be financially stable. Maybe not today, but tomorrow. And buying a land, I'm not talking about you buying a land and building a double-story house for yourself, for your family, or for your parents, whatever. No. More precisely, buy a land in some rural area. Okay. You ask yourself, okay, why a rural area? Because you have a project, you have a business project, agricultural project. Agricultural project. I can never stress enough about this project. Why agricultural project? Listen up carefully, because every single day people eat, every single day people drink. Regardless of how good the economy of the country is, every single day people are eating, people are buying, people are drinking. That is why I said earlier, if you understand the concept of supply and demand, you are one way forward. You are one way ahead to becoming financially independent. Because if you have a land, one single step that you can start with just by simply growing crops. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Who cares? People are going to look at you, laugh at you. They don't know what your project is. They don't know what your vision is. Okay? Some old dude bought some land, whatever, and is growing some tomatoes, some potatoes, some maize meal, but I don't know what vision lies behind your head with those tomatoes. They think that you're gonna get those tomatoes and sell them on the streets, whatever, one by one. But meanwhile, you have a strong mindset, a goal to create a partnership with some supermarket to a point that you'll be delivering those tomatoes, those potatoes, those maize meal to them, and how much will you be cashing out of that contract? Do you understand the kind of business I'm talking about? That is why I'm saying that when you buy a land, an empty land, you are one way ahead. You are one way ahead, my friend. So don't forget about it. Don't take it as a joke. Don't take it as a joke. It's something serious, okay? Buy land, invest in land, and you're gonna thank me later. And also, we live in a current time that, I mean, right now, if you are struggling to get a job, be careful because where were you the whole time to get a job? Okay. Why can't you find a job? All right, you can say that, okay, because there's unemployment in my country, the government, XYZ. But then be a starter. Be a starter, be a creator. If you can't find a job, create something. What do you have? You have two hands, two legs, you have a head. Think. Understand your surrounding, understand your community. Again, come back to that concept of supply and demand. Come back to the concept of supply and demand. What is being demanded from your community and what can you supply? Before you can rely on that company to call you and offer you that small salary where you'll be working 30 days, 31 days, a month, and then get that peanut. But have a creative mindset, okay? When you have a creative mindset, you will start smaller, but in the long run, you will grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and you'll achieve all your goals. Why? Because you had an idea. Even the Bible say that write the vision down, make it plain on the tablet so that he who reads it may run it. Write your vision down and wake up from your long slumber. I know most of you gonna watch this video for maybe just 1 minute and decide, you know what? Okay, he's just talking some crap because he already made it in life, because he lives in Europe, whatever. So let me watch my TikTok, let me watch my Instagram, let me watch my distraction. Okay, fine, go ahead. Watch your distraction. I mean, leave the video watching this, go and watch your distraction. This video is not for you. This video is not for everybody. This video is for everyone who is hungry, everyone who wants to change his current situation. This video is for everyone who wants to provide back to his community, wants to provide back to his family, wants to take his family out of poverty and give something back to his parents because of everything that they have done for him. Yeah. So if you are hungry about the current situation you are facing, so this video is for you. And it's not the only video that I'm gonna be producing. More and more, I'll be creating more content that will be speaking directly to your soul, directly to your ears, to reactivate your strength, to reactivate you, and to grab any opportunity, because there is never stupid job. There is never um, an incompetent job. You know, everything that provides money for you, you should consider it as a job. But then what is more important is what you do with that money you get. If you get 10 euros, you can multiply it and becomes 100 euros. You get 100 euros, you can multiply it, become 1,000, 10,000, 10,000, 100,000, just like that. Everything starts here. Okay, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna see you in the next video.